Pat, can you please explain a little bit about yourself for those who don't know?
Sure. My name is Mackenzie, and I have been an actor and a singer and a musician for, I think, really my whole life. I'm an instrumentalist as well, so I play the piano and the cello, and what else do I play? I play the guitar, and yeah, I'm on tour with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. This is my third national tour. And yeah, we're about 8 months through our first year on tour.
That's awesome. And so, what was the audition process like for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?
So they cast very, very, very far in advance.
Mhm.
So we started rehearsals in July of 2020. What was last year? 2024.
2024, yeah.
But I had my first audition back in November of 2023.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it doesn't always happen like this, but with these big, big, big shows like this, they like to secure people very early on. Um, and so I had there was an initial self-tape which I got from my agents. And so I submitted a self-tape and I did both the Moaning Myrtle sides and the Delphi sides. After that, I got a call back, and that was after Thanksgiving. And then it moved pretty quickly. So I had a movement call back on like a Monday, and then on Tuesday I had a scene work callback session with one of the associate directors. And then that Friday was a second movement session. And then the following Wednesday was my flying test. So
Oh
all this happened within like 2 weeks. So it was including the first self tape, it was one, two, three, four, it was five auditions
wow.
total. And then they made me wait. And I didn't hear for a month
Oh,
after that
wow.
final flying
That's
audition. I was going crazy.
yeah.
But I found out January 4th of 2024 that
Nice.
I was going to be Myrtle.
And you said your first audition was July of 2025, 2024, right?
No, so the first rehearsal was July of
Oh,
2024. So
20,
my
yeah,
first
rehearsal.
audition, yeah,
Uh,
was November 2023.
so you started rehearsals in July and then you opened in September, but moved into theater early August, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's
Late,
quick.
late
Late
August.
August.
Yeah, late August. Yeah.
Late August, yeah. So that's a pretty quick rehearsal time then.
It's quick. It was only 5 weeks of rehearsal, and 2 weeks of tech, which they are such pros. I was nervous about how short that was, but they are such pros, and they've been, doing the show for almost 10 years, or at least like they've been, writing the show for 10 years. And so yeah, they just knew what they were doing. And it was quick, but like we got everything done.
Yeah. And so, with it being Harry Potter, were you a fan of the Harry Potter franchise before going into this, or was this just one that was given to you by your agent?
So I mean, I saw all the movies as a kid. Like Harry Potter was huge when I was a kid. I didn't read the books when I was younger, so I had friends that were super, super into it. I wasn't a Potterhead, but I still so appreciated the movies and the stories and
Mm.
the franchise as a whole. So I'm almost disappointed that I wasn't a Potterhead because I think some people in this cast were obsessed with Harry Potter when they were kids. And I'm sure like getting this job was just like it blew their minds, but it blew my mind in like a different way getting this job. So it's really cool to be a part of this like whole. It's just like so bigger than the show itself. There's just like a whole world within these stories and so much history, and it's really cool to be a part of.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you're about, as you said, 8 months or so into the tour. And so what tour stop you looking forward to the most coming up in these next few?
Well, the funny thing is, we did Chicago for 5 months and then LA for 4 months, and then it's just DC left. So
Oh, really?
yeah, it's only three stops total for the
Oh,
tour.
okay.
I know, which is funny. That's not like usually how tours
Yeah.
work. But Chicago, surprised me. I thought I would like Chicago. I didn't know that I would love Chicago. And I actually thought I wouldn't like LA, but I really do like LA. And also I've performed at this theater before, so it's very cool to like come back and like be here again after all this time. So honestly, I'm very happy with both stops so far.
And so is it? after DC is the tour over, is there another cast coming in?
So we're all kind of in the process right now of like deciding whether or not we want to do year two. After we finish in DC on September 7th, then I mean the tour just keeps going.
Yeah,
Um, Depending on who says yes and who says no, there will be rehearsals in probably like August so that we can rehearse if there are any new people to come in.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing year two yet. Very on the fence about it, although like I really love my job, so I think I'm leaning towards yes right now, but we'll see.
That's awesome. And so, what is, without giving too much away, what is your favorite scene to perform and your favorite scene to watch every night?
Oh my God, my favorite scene to perform has to be my Myrtle scenes, without a doubt. There's no competition.
Yeah,
It is it is just so cathartic in so many ways, like to like it's like 5 minutes total, like between the two
yeah.
scenes. I think it might even be less, but like it's just been a really cool challenge to pack the punch of Myrtle into those very short scenes. And also like it's a really cool challenge to like be paying tribute to the Myrtle from the movies that everybody knows and loves, but then also like kind of inject my own personal like take on the character.
Hmm?
So it has to be that because like even when I'm exhausted and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can get through it, there's something that just comes over me and I come out of the sink and I just like everything is great. So I love that. I think a scene that I love to watch, it has to be Staircase Ballet. It just like pulls at my heartstrings. It's when like Albus and Scorpius are like, it's this like physicalization of like the distance that is happening between them, and it is so heartbreaking. And it's all music and just the two of them acting, and then everyone below them is like moving these stairs around in such an intricate and difficult way. It's just a really beautiful moment of storytelling through movement that I think really is like part of the heart of this show.
That's awesome. And so, following along with favorites, I've asked all the Harry Potter guests that I've interviewed, but what is your favorite trick to watch or perform each night?
Hmm. Favorite chick? Uh, I don't get to watch a lot of my favorite chicks anymore because I'm usually like changing or like
Yeah.
getting in or out of a wig or something. Um, what I love to watch. Oh, I think like when Harry transfigures into Voldemort.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's been explained to me so many times, and I think I understand it, but I still don't fully. And so it's just so cool. And they do it especially like, like people swing out and there are different people playing Voldemort or whatever, and like they still just nail it every night. So I love to watch Transfiguration. It's really cool.
That's the thing you said about not knowing how it's done. That's what I want to say was Aiden. He was like it took him about halfway through rehearsals to figure out how the telephone one was done.
Oh, the telephone movie.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a recurring thing that it takes a lot of the actors a while to figure out.
Yeah. There's still some things that I'm not entirely sure how it's done, but I want to keep it that way because I
Yeah,
want to like try to figure it out myself. Because I could ask anybody like in the props department and they would just tell me, because they're allowed to tell me.
yeah.
But I kind of love like keeping that magic alive for me. Like even though like we're a part of the show and we're used to like the sounds and the sets and the lighting and um it's just a cool way of like keeping the magic alive for myself.
That's awesome. And so, had you seen Harry Potter and the Cursed Child before being cast?
Yeah, so back in the beginning, I think it was like 2018, I stood in line and I got rush tickets. And there was like a student rush price, I think. And I think it was back when it was a two-parter.
Yeah.
I got tickets for both shows for $40 total.
Oh wow.
And so it was just an incredible all-day affair. I think I was quite literally in the last seat in the balcony, but it was still like the most incredible thing I had ever seen, even though I had to like kind of squint to see what was happening. Like the stage picture was just like it was incredible, and it was just so cool seeing all that magic. and having it be this like epic all day thing because at the time it was 5.5 hours and two shows.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I had seen it once before. But I hadn't seen it since. I hadn't seen
So
like
you
the
haven't seen
first.
the one part.
No, I didn't see let the first one part that happened, the 3.5 hour version.
Yeah, that one was really good. I saw that in New York this past
Hmm.
July, and that was really good. So it's kind of weird knowing that it was in two parts and at 5 hours because like there's so much already in it that like you have to like think about what they
Hmm.
took out.
Exactly. It does make you like, I think if you've seen the two part, I think it does make you miss a little bit of like, oh, like there's more exposition, like there's more character stuff. But when you think about like them cutting 3 hours worth of the show and then what they were able to make it into, then it's so impressive. It
Mhm.
almost makes up for the fact that you don't get quite as much character.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like a fun little thing that like not everybody knows because not everybody has seen the two-parter. So it's kind of it's it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and so when you were younger, what got you into the art of performing?
My parents were performers for my whole childhood. I mean, like for their whole childhoods too. Like my dad is a musician, my mom is a singer, and she was an actor, and she just kind of got me into um voice lessons and acting lessons just to see if I'd like it, and I just took to it. It just became like my passion. So kind of from like age 6, it was like, oh yeah, like this is my thing.
That's awesome. And so following the journey, so you said this is your third national tour, right?
Hmm.
So what two tours were you on? And
So I did the Once national tour, and then I did Elf
oh,
on
really?
tour. Yeah.
That's a fun show. Yeah, I loved
Yeah,
Elf.
very cute. Hmm.
And so, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Ah, man. I think I would say you're not in competition with anybody but yourself. Um, there is no one else like you. There are people who, have the same kind of special skills listed on their resume, but no one can do what you do exactly the way that you do it. Um, so I think I would say that. And then I would also say, don't try to be what you think the casting director wants you to be. Just be yourself, approach the text the way that you want to approach the text, and whatever you do will be enough as it is. And if it's not this job, then maybe it'll be the next one. And you just have to be patient.
Yeah, for the interview today, I'd like to thank you for joining me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Uh,
so much for having
and
me.
have a great night.
Thank you so much. All right, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.